Okay, let's just jump right in. Have you ever used an AI tool like ChatGPT or Gemini? You ask it a question, and the answer you get back is, well, it's just a little bit generic. Yeah, you are definitely not alone. Look, getting really powerful, useful stuff from these incredible tools isn't magic, it's a skill. And today, we're going to break down exactly how you can master it.
This quote from Bernard Marr, I love it because it just hits the nail on the head, right? Imagine having this brilliant assistant who sometimes just completely misunderstands you. It's the perfect way to think about it. We've got this amazingly powerful tech, but if we don't talk to it the right way, the results can be, well, super frustrating. And here's the thing, it's not the AI's fault, it's a communication breakdown.
So let's talk about that core problem, that huge gap between a kind of vague request and a truly valuable result. I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? You ask a simple question and you get back this really shallow, unhelpful answer. And honestly, that's probably the single biggest reason people get let down by AI. And check this out. This slide shows you the difference, plain and simple. On the left, you've got write a product description. I mean, the AI has almost nothing to go on. But look at the right. It's loaded with specific details, the product, who it's for, the key features, even how long it should be. That rich context, that's the secret sauce. That's what turns a generic response into something you can actually use. So that's the big question, right? How do you actually get from that simple question to a really powerful instruction every single time? Instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. Well, good news. It's not about being some kind of tech genius. It's just about learning a new way to ask. And let me be really clear about this. This skill, it's quickly becoming one of the most critical skills you can have in today's world. I'm not kidding. Learning to talk to AI effectively isn't just some neat party trick. It's a huge, massive lever for productivity. So why should you care? What's the big deal? Well, this number kind of says it all, doesn't it? $340 billion. That's what McKinsey thinks generative AI could add to the banking industry every single year. And that's just one industry. The potential here is absolutely astronomical. But, and this is a big but, it all comes down to whether we can actually use these tools the right way. This whole thing has a name, by the way. It's called prompt engineering. Now, I know what you're thinking. Engineering sounds super technical and intimidating, but don't let that word fool you. All it really is, at its core, is the skill of giving better, clearer instructions. It's about learning the language that helps your AI assistant finally get what you're asking for. And here's the thing. Most of us, we're just not giving the AI enough to work with. Not even close. Some research from Google found that your average, typical prompt is less than 9 words long. 9. But the really good ones, the ones that get great results, they average around 21 words. Just think about that for a second. That's more than double the length, and it's not just fluff. It's packed with all that crucial context. That is the difference between a vague wish and a crystal clear instruction. Okay, so how do we actually get there? How do we write those better prompts? Well, let's get into a really simple but powerful framework that I promise will instantly level up your game. It's called the PTCF framework, and it's super easy to remember. It's just 4 simple steps. First up, P is for persona. You got to tell the AI who to be. Are you talking to a business analyst, a creative copywriter, a friendly tutor? Next, T is for task. This is the what. Give it a clear action-based command. What exactly do you want it to do? Then C is for context. And honestly, this is probably the most important one. This is where you give it all the background info, the details, the need-to-knows. And finally, F is for format. How do you want the answer back? As a table, in bullet points, a formal email? You tell it. So let's break down a real example to see how this works. Look at this prompt. The task is crystal clear. Create a 10-question quiz. Easy. Then the context is just packed with good stuff. It's not just any quiz, it's to understand my leadership style as it relates to communication. It even tells the AI no generic advice. Love that. And finally, the format is spelled out perfectly. Provide an analysis with 3 tips and 3 mistakes. See how a prompt like this is just light years ahead of something vague like, help me be a better leader. All right, so now we have a solid game plan for what to do, but it's just as important to know what not to do. So let's talk about some of the most common traps people fall into so you can avoid them. Okay, let's run through these real quick. First, the vagueness trap. We've talked a lot about that one, right? Not enough detail. Then there's the opposite problem,
information overload. This is when you just dump a massive paragraph on the AI asking for 5 different things at once. It just gets confused. Next is the creativity crutch. This is a big one. It's where you expect the AI to come up with a brilliant idea for you. Spoiler, that usually leads to pretty generic stuff. And last, but maybe most important, is the privacy pitfall.
And this is the golden rule right here. Never input anything into a public AI system that you wouldn't be comfortable seeing on a billboard. Seriously, you have to remember that these public AI models are not secure vaults. The stuff you type in can be reviewed by humans, and in some rare cases, it's even popped up in other people's chats. So if it's sensitive company info, your personal finances, anything you wouldn't want the world to see, just assume there's zero privacy. Keep it out.
You know, when you start putting all this together, when you start avoiding those traps and using a framework like PTCF, something really cool starts to happen. Your whole relationship with AI begins to change. It stops feeling like a simple, kind of clumsy assistant, and it starts to feel like a real creative partner. And that right there is the most important thing to remember. The AI is a tool. It gives you the raw horsepower, it synthesizes the data, it gives you a solid first draft. But it's your expertise, your unique insight, your creativity. That's the magic ingredient. You're the one who takes its raw output and makes it into something special. It's a partnership. So, the next time you open up that chat window, I want you to pause. Don't just fire off a simple question. Think persona, task, context, format. You've got the keys now. The only question left is, what are you going to create first?